people that they must call in special forces. If they're going to be successful, there are rules of engagement, and their weapons are mighty through God to the putting down of the enemy's strongholds.
Amen.
Paul said, I've fought a good fight. I have kept the faith. And the Lord told me, he said, tell my people that they are fighting to win. Who's fighting? Who's just fighting to be fighting? Anybody just fighting to be fighting? That'll wear you out real quick. But how many is fighting to win?
Amen.
Then you must use faith and fasting as your greatest ally in this season. How many received that? Lift your hands.
Amen.
Let's go to the closing. Won't hold you long. How many enjoyed the teaching so far? But I've been fighting, children. I'm a fighter. But I must tell the Lord, I cannot say I fought a good fight because I haven't believed everything I fought for. I made a vow to God. I said, I'll never ask you anything that I don't believe you to do for me. Start a prayer and you pray and look like God. All right, that didn't work. Let me find something else to pray for. Maybe this one I get through. So many unanswered prayers. Are y'all listening to me now?
Yes.
Tell your neighbor, said, make yourself a promise in this season.
Make yourself a promise in this.
That you will always give faith.
Thank you.
The Lord said there's a chance to win, but only with a struggle. It's a chance to win, and it can be revealed by a struggle. Amen. Let's close it now. Moving on. He said in Matthew 11:12, tell my people from the days of John Baptist, the kingdom of heaven suffers violence, but the violent take it by force. I want my people to get in, amen, the offense mode, and let's take it to the devil. You don't fight the devil running back. Fight the devil. He said, tell my people that the kingdom suffers violence, and the violent take it. I'm taking my children back. I'm taking my gonna help me. I'm taking my healing. Because the Lord said to me, tell my people they must become militant in their faith. Get radical. Get militant. I'm not taking no for an answer. The kingdom suffers violent onslaught of the enemy. Somebody said, but the violent will take it by force.
Violent take it by force.
He told me, he said, tell my people, do not be afraid of the battlefront. Come on. Right. He said, tell them, do not be afraid of their enemy. Matter of fact, I heard him say some time ago that in this new season, tell my people that they are fastly approaching the annihilation of an enemy. In this
Amen.
We are fastly approaching the annihilation of an enemy.
Yeah.
He said, tell them they do not need to fear an enemy. He said, many times when I, God, am finished with a season in one's life, I'll raise up a giant or an enemy.
Come on.
Yeah. And by conquering that enemy, it will catapult their faith to the next dimension.
Amen.
Pretty well when God's finished with a season, there'll always be a great challenge. Or a great enemy, or some kind of giant. He said, tell them, do not fear an enemy. When an enemy comes on the scene, he's just coming to announce to you that God is pretty well finished with that season.
Amen.
The Lord told me that the only enemy that you're willing to challenge will you be able to conquer. You can't fight him running from him.
Well,
only the enemy you're willing to challenge will you be able to conquer.
Come on.
Yes.
Amen.
Good word.
Am I preaching? Somebody shout amen.
amen.
He told me, he said, son, you need an enemy. I said, oh, no, Lord. I don't need no more enemies. Rephrase that one, please. Make it sound a little better. He said, you need an enemy, son. He said, tell my people that David needed Goliath. For it was by conquering Goliath that catapulted him to the throne of Israel. You need need a giant. You want to hear that? You need a challenge. You want to hear that? David needed Goliath. It was by conquering Goliath that catapulted him to the throne of Israel. Amen. Only the enemy you are willing to challenge will you be able to conquer.
Amen.
Tell your neighbor, say, you need an enemy.
Need an enemy.
I don't want to hear that, sir, but I'll say that, I guess. He said, tell my people in this new season, they are fastly approaching the total annihilation of an enemy.
Come on. Come on.
And he said, you need an enemy, for by conquering it, it catapults your faith to the next dimension in God.
Yeah.
So David actually needed Goliath, didn't he?
Yes. Yes.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
He never would have been king of the Commonwealth if he had not went through the giant.
That's right.
He said they're fastly approaching. I'm almost finished. 3 more verses and we're through. Anybody enjoying the teaching?
Amen.
Amen.
He said, even as Pharaoh, tell my people that they are fastly approaching the total annihilation. And he spoke to me about Pharaoh. And I studied Pharaoh, Pastor. I've come to the conclusion nobody will tell me anything different. Pharaoh was bipolar. Oh, y'all, I'm telling you, I done studied it. Pharaoh was bipolar. You know, bipolar folks, Lord him, you know what they're going to do. Some of y'all live with a couple in your life. This is like the wind, up and down, roller coaster. You know what? I call them crazy as a fox. Yeah. Don't raise your hands. You know some people that's crazy as a fox? You don't know what they're going to do. Pharaoh, let him go, change his mind. Let him go, change their mind. I believe I go, no. And then finally when he let him go, he thought about it and then he began in hot pursuit after them. Now the man just let him go, gave him all kind of money and stuff, and now he's changing. I say he had to be bipolar. Don't look at your wife or your husband, look straight ahead. I'm just playing. So now Moses has brought him out. God told him to say, you're fastly approaching the annihilation of it. Give me about 15, 20 more minutes. Can I take it or should I stop?
Come on. Come on.
Come on now.
And after Israel got out, then Pharaoh changes his bipolar mind. Come on, somebody. And he enters in high pursuit after these Hebrew slaves, these Israelites, these pilgrims. And my God, he was in such high pursuit until the Lord had the glory cloud by day and the pillar of fire by night. The Lord moved the glory from the front of the camp of Israel to the rear, and he pierced through the glory cloud and took a look at the enemy. How many know sometimes the devil gets too close? How many need God to be your rear guard? Lord, the enemy is too close to me, and I need you to move the glory from the front to the back, because the enemy is getting too close. Lift your hands to Lord, be my rear guard. Come on here. The glory of God moved from the front to the back and look through the glory cloud. Then the wheels start falling off.
Come on.
Yes, it did.
I told you, Brother Bill, the man was bipolar. Because if I got an army chasing a bunch of Hebrew slaves, a bunch of pilgrims, and I see a Red Sea wall up on one side and on the other side, and they walking through on dry ground, I would have said this, company, company. Y'all ain't gonna help me. But that old fool, mama, he's still trying to trespass on Israel's miracle. It wasn't his miracle. It was Israel's miracle. And that bipolar thing tried to overtake them.
Come on. Come on.
God said, hurry, get him across. Hurry, hurry, Moses, hurry. Enemy in pursuit. And that would be a frightening thing for me, because you want to proceed and give me some dry ground to walk over, and I'm walking like this whole wall looked like an aquarium. I don't know whether there's sharks in that water. This is a what? Up to the water. I don't know. Oh, jeez, look at this. Oh my God. Wow, y'all ain't gonna help me. That was frightening enough. And then when they got across, God got that last Hebrew slave across. And he cried out to the Lord. And the Lord said unto me, turn and take one last look at this enemy. For you will never see this enemy again. Lift your hands up inside the annihilation of an enemy. Get ready, get up on your feet. Turn and look into last year. Turn around and take one last look at this enemy. This enemy that made you cry. This enemy that threatened your happiness. That's the annihilation. He said to Moses, take one last look. Ooh, I'm so happy.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Amen.
I'm tired of fighting court cases and then get them almost won, got to go back to court again.
Well,
I'm ready for God to totally annihilate some things.
Come on.
Some things I dealt with, I don't deal with no more.
Now.
Leave your hands at the annihilation of an enemy.
Annihilation of enemy.
The Bible said, the Lord said, look at it one more time. He made you cry, gave you sleepless nights. I've had so much pain. But somebody said, in this season, give me 10 more minutes, in this season, the annihilation of an enemy.